I always been interested since I was a kid. I know that sounds really cliche, but in visual things, like I was the artistic kid in the family. But I always been interested in anything that is visual, like photography and just doing things with my hands. I used to do my friends' makeup when I was in school, so it kind of just happened naturally that I was doing makeup. Then I worked as a fashion designer for a couple of years, and I was still doing some like freelancing as a makeup artist. I missed doing things with my hands.
Yeah.
Because when I was designing, I was working for like a high street brand, and you have to get everything made. It's not like I was there like working and draping and beading or painting.
Yeah.
So I missed doing things with my hands, and I got a job with a makeup brand. Full-time job. I was like, okay, this is it. I'm just gonna work as I'm a makeup artist now. I'm working like as a makeup artist full-time. I think it all connects eventually. Like, what's your, inspiration sometimes for a job. It's something that is like, well, I didn't learn this when I studied makeup. I already knew this. You start finding like a balance when you're doing a makeup that is quite abstract, and color theory. All those things kind of apply to everything.
Yeah.
Like mixing colors. So you look at the colors and it's like, okay, if I have to make this color, what would I mix? And that was there from the very beginning. So it kind of all connects. Something that I always like to do, well, not always, but I like to do a lot is just concentrate on like one element and then keep everything else like undone. Sometimes it's about what you don't do more than what you do. So, makeup on men, it's still, it's changing, in the right direction.
Yeah.
I think men are being a lot more adventurous. But, it's still a thing. We're not there yet. So I like to keep it simple in a way, like minimal. And with women, it's kind of the same approach too. Sometimes, like, I like to do a couple of things.
Yeah.
That, if it's a dramatic makeup, I don't want to like overdo it. So it's not about, people are wearing a lot more makeup and men are wearing a lot more makeup. I think there is a really huge movement about, individualism and looking in a way that goes with your personality. So it could be a lot of makeup or it could be nothing, which is great too. If you want to wear like full coverage foundation with contouring and lashes and on a boy or a girl or in any gender, like it's great. And then again, for any gender, if you don't want to wear anything, that's fine too. I think that there's some things that were kind of like defining moments, like changing moments. When I started doing Fashion Week, I started doing shows in London. To me, there is a before and after that, because once I started doing that, I never stopped. So I've been doing shows for, in different cities every season for a long time. I never ever stopped. And started working with Illamasqua 3 years ago. That was, again, that opened other doors, to start doing some things that I never done before. So when I started with Illamasqua, I knew they already had like a lot of color and a lot of shade of foundations and different formulas. I was like, that's the right brand. Sometimes you do a job and you are really happy with the result, and you really need to hold on to that, because that's what you work, so hard all these years, and what you study for that moment when you're like, yes, this looks exactly how I. Or sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes, it's like happy accident. It's like, oh my God. Like I was telling you about that campaign that did last week. Well, how did it go? I was like, oh my God, so much better than I expected. I'm so excited. So, that's your reward, when you wanted to do something and it's like, I did it. Yeah. It's not like you stop there, you keep going. But I think that's, or at least for me, that's my main motivation.